Are you ready?
Ready.
All right, let's go. Kevin here, top 1 financial advisor and best-selling author. We are here to talk about the stock market. Hey everybody, as you can see, we're doing a screen recording video. I won't be back in my regular studio position until Friday. So the next 2 days we'll be doing more screen capture style videos. But y'all gonna get this content and this good information. And in today's video, I want to break down a company that I think has flown under the radar for far too long. I don't think enough people are talking about it. I did do a short video for those of the members only and brought up this company very briefly, but I want to let everybody know what I'm looking at and some of the key highlights of this company that I think are very underrated. So as you know, the market has been pretty good in the second half of the year. That's only been what, 2 or 3 days now, but things are okay. But again, it's super early, and we also know that the first half of the year was the worst since 1970, and that there is a chance that the second half of the year can be good. If you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you watch yesterday's video. But this company is up more than 20% in the last 6 months, and again, I don't think enough people are talking about it. I've talked a lot about oil, talked a lot about healthcare, talked a lot about companies like Coca-Cola, but this company right here is Hershey. Yes, the candy company over the last 6 months is up 20%, as you can see here. And this is the S&P 500. It's down whatever number this is. I guess it's right around 19 or 18%. This thing is in the way here. And the reason why I like Hershey, other than the fact that it's up, which is great, right? But there are some key things that are happening, or that has happened for Hershey that that really sets it apart. I mean, like really sets the company apart. So I'll go over a few of those things for a few minutes and then point out some other things I think you should be aware of as you're making your investment decisions. Perhaps you're looking for something to add. Perhaps you're looking at something to invest in. So I just want to give you my case. Now, as of right now, I do not own any shares of Hershey. So this is just my research, a company I really like. I ended up going with Coca-Cola over Hershey. Just because I wanted, I look for diversification. So I've got one healthcare company. I've got something in this category in Coca-Cola. So personally, I just didn't go with it, but it's a great substitute for Coca-Cola for me. And I'll just show you right here. I'm pretty sure Hershey does better than Coca-Cola, but I'm just a bit more familiar with Coca-Cola. Just see how they compare real quick. So Coca-Cola it's in the neighborhood. It's not the same. Let's look at a year. So yeah, I mean, Hershey's over the last 6 months, over the last year, has been a bit better. But let's talk a little bit about Hershey. So yes, they are the candy company. And the thing that you're not going to see, at least in my view, unless you are really digging deep into the reports, is that 70% of Hershey's manufacturing process, how they make their product, is based inside the U.S. That is key. Okay, and I'm going to say it one more time. 70% of their processing, like how they make their goods, is based inside the U.S. That means that they are not dealing with the exact same supply chain issues as a lot of other multinational corporations. So for example, Apple is running into issues. Tesla has run into issues because they have factories in China still dealing with COVID lockdowns. You have other companies that have to deal with stuff that are in and around Russia and Ukraine that has caused issues. Hershey doesn't have to deal with that. And there's one of the reasons why they have been so incredibly good in a year where, or I'll say a half a year, where everyone else is saying supply chain. The other thing that most people don't notice here is, again, while I can't necessarily call this, y'all know how I am. I don't like to say recession proof or inflation proof, but I like to say inflation resistant. And they're able to price. So inflation resistant, recession resistant, because they're able to increase their prices without you really noticing. So for example, if you go and buy a candy bar for $1 and the next day you come in, it's $1.05 or even $1.20, you're probably not going to react the same way you would with gas. When gas prices go up by $1, that's a lot because you're buying 20 gallons, 15 gallons, whatever it takes, unless you have an electric car, right? Well, from $1 to $1.10, that's a 10% increase in revenue. And you're not going to notice, right? Unless you're Hershey, you sell millions of these things at a time. So their ability to change prices and really increase that margin is incredibly important for them. And it was one of the things that they talked about. This is their 10Q, their most recent quarterly report from April. And they talked a lot about this. But what I am going to show you is net sales here. So again, this is, the amount that they're selling. And you can see here from was at 2.29 million has increased in the first quarter, not the entire year. It's 2.6 million. People are buying more candy. That is great. There are a few reasons for this, including increased traffic in stores, increased places to or increased traffic in high volume places. So in stores. Also, if you ever walked into a grocery store, which I don't know how many people still do that, but when you walk into a grocery store now, you see all of the Hershey's products as you are about to check out. Well, with more people in line, with more people going out there shopping, that's more opportunities for Hershey to make money, as well as vending machines, right? Kids going back into school, people going back to airports, and wherever else you find vending machines nowadays. So that's one thing. You can see that their revenue is slowly increasing, or steadily increasing rather. And then obviously gross profit, how much money they are keeping after the cost of sales, which is what you see here. We've got one, actually should be a million, so we're probably talking $1 billion here. You can see a slight increase here. And that has been relatively consistent, and recession or not, inflation or not, they should be really resistant to that. And as we've seen so far, they've done quite well. So there's one thing that you want to know, and one thing that I think really sets Hershey apart, other than the fact it's a company that we can all understand and probably find something delicious about them. I'm not somebody who likes Twizzlers. Okay, I'm gonna just say that right now. I hate Twizzlers. They're terrible. They taste like Wi-Fi cables. But anything other than that, sorry for those who love Twizzlers. But I love the cookies and cream one from Hershey. But aside from that, it's a company we can understand. It's a company that has good pricing power. And then they have a lot of insider activity going on as of very, very recently. So I'll show you this. This is the Edgar website's one that I brought up. You can see, now I assume that this is from maybe a quarterly bonus. But these are all the Form 4s that were filed. And this is today. Right, so the 6th, you saw a bunch on the 5th here, and I'm assuming the majority of these are like bonuses, quarterly bonuses, or something that was paid out. But again, you've got insiders either receiving shares or buying shares right around now, which again, based on the studies that we have seen, I think it's 2003 or so was the most recent one that I saw, where we see that those who are insider buyers tend to it outperformed the market by 11.2%. A keyword, outperform. Not just gain, but outperform. And as you have seen this year, Hershey in and of itself has outperformed. So for example, we've got one Form 4 from whoever this is, Wendy Lee Shoppert. Got some shares on the 1st of July. We're looking at 183,000 shares. They didn't pay for it, it seems like. So I'm assuming here that this is probably again a quarterly bonus or something of that nature. And this person is I'm assuming a director here, from what we see. 10% owner, so this person owns a lot. They received a good hefty chunk of shares just in the last few days. Also another one, Juan Perez, also got that same amount. So again, this is what makes me think this is probably a quarterly bonus or something of that nature. Also a director, got the same amount of shares very recently. Now, these two Form 4s are not going to make me go out and buy Hershey. And I don't think you want to use these as hey, they just got a bonus, let me go out and buy Hershey today. I don't think that's the case. What I do think is we have seen enough evidence that they have been good this year, and they are very resistant to a lot of the things that have been plaguing the market. Supply chain, inflation, potential recession. They're fine. Right? They are also profitable. They have cash. We've seen that from their reports. Companies that don't have cash, companies that haven't been profitable, those are the ones that are really taking a hit right now. Hershey's not in that category. Other companies aren't able to raise their prices because consumers are resistant to it. Hershey's not in that category. So they are in, I can't say the perfect category, but it is almost as perfect as you can get in an industry that just makes so much sense. The other company that comes close, in my view, is probably Coca-Cola, but Hershey is performing slightly better, or actually a lot better, 6% between the 14 that we saw and the 20 that we saw earlier. So keep it on your list. Again, I think it's a company that not enough people are talking about. I saw one person talk about it, and that was it. That was it. And I had listened. I'm like, okay, and then didn't think that of it. This is a company I wish that I picked up at the very beginning of the year before we knew that 2022 was going to be the way that it is. So what I would recommend you do at this point is go and continue to do your research. Let me know what you think about Hershey. Do you already own it? Have you been sitting on this stock and not saying anything this entire time? And what other companies do you want me to take a look at to kind of give you my thoughts and opinion on? But Hershey, HSY is the company, one that, again, not enough people are talking about. I should probably buy this stock for my kids if I haven't already. So I need to go back and check their portfolios and see if I need to add this one. I know one of them already has Coca-Cola, so we weren't trying to duplicate, even though they're not in the exact same space. But a lot of the same mechanics that work for Coca-Cola also work for Hershey. I just went with Coca-Cola because I'm more familiar with them. I've owned them in the past. But very, very good. Up, I said 20%. I'm sorry. This is 12%. Sorry, y'all. 12% in the last 6 months, 26% in the last year. So glad we were able to verify that and get that corrected. All right, that is it for me. Again, tomorrow will likely be something similar, where you just hear my voice on my very nice, expensive microphone with the screen in the background until I get back into my regular studio. I call it a studio. It's really just a corner in my house. But we'll get back to that hopefully on Friday. If not, you'll definitely see me in my regular spot on Monday. All right, that is it for me. I will talk to you later. Bye.